Before I get started with this story, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Craig J for sending it to me, and it is coming out of Florida. This story right here is absolutely wild, and it actually made me laugh a little bit. It shouldn't have, but it did a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. So this woman's name is Misty Gilley, and she owns a clinic in Florida. Now, when you think of a clinic, it's a place where people go. It's a rehab, to get people off of something. It could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be just any amount of things. It's something that can harm the body. With this woman, she ran a clinic, but she got busted for basically selling drugs that people were getting themselves off of to, I guess, other people. My guess is she's having what I call like a circular hustle, where she's selling the drugs that people are supposed to be getting off of to people, and I guess in return they might end up going to her clinic so she can make money that way. So it's almost like a hand over fist type of thing. She's making money selling the drugs, and then she's going to get the people to come to her rehab where they're going to have to pay money to her clinic at the same time. That's just my guesstimate of the whole thing. I have not read the article yet, so I don't know all of the details, but that's just my assumption. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article and see what they're talking about. A Florida woman was arrested and charged with selling prescription fentanyl out of a self-run drug rehab center, police said Tuesday. Misty Gilley, age 50, of Altamont Springs, was arrested Monday by the Seminole County Sheriff's Office. She was booked into jail on felony narcotics charges. An arrest report from the Sheriff's Office details how an investigation began into Gilley after officials received a tip that she was peddling prescription opioids and other illegal narcotics, including cocaine. Gilley was allegedly selling the drugs out of both her personal home and her drug rehab facility. The investigation began to take shape when confidential informants bought drugs from Gilley at both her home and her rehab center. On both occasions, police said Gilley sold the informant various amounts of fentanyl. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid, and according to the Drug Enforcement Administration, it is 50 times more potent than heroin and 80 to 100 times more stronger than morphine. The National Institute on Drug Abuse reported that 4,698 overdose deaths in Florida in 2018, 3,189 of them, nearly 68%, involved in opioids such as fentanyl. After searching both the rehab center and Gilley's house, investigators found further evidence of illegal drug transactions at both locations. This includes the recovery of baggies of fentanyl and cocaine used, needles, and blood-stained tissues. According to the arrest report, stated that the clinic's official therapy room appeared to have been used for drug activities. Officials were also able to trace an iPhone number back to Gilley that had been associated with known drug deals in the past. The facility, Simply Recovery, says on its website that it can help with the recovery from substance abuse, addiction, withdrawal, or dependence on marijuana, pain medication, heroin, alcohol, and all illicit drugs, and also provide mental health counseling. The Seminole County Sheriff's Office noted that Gilley had multiple responsibilities at her facility. This includes running group meetings, providing information on treatments, and assisting with various forms of substance abuse. The people going into recovery are one of the most vulnerable populations, said Seminole County Sheriff Dennis Lima during a Tuesday press conference. For this person to take advantage of those vulnerable people, I am just absolutely speechless. It's a sad day in our society when you can't even trust the locations that are trying to or say they're getting people clean. Gilley was released from jail late Tuesday after posting a $49,500 bond and now awaits trial. So they didn't give what her motive was behind this, but so that leaves my assumption to still sit pretty high, that she was making money at her facility for people coming into the facility to receive treatment. But then on the flip side, she was making money selling the same type of drugs that was getting people into her facility. So my guess is, that's why I said I believe it was a circular hustle. She sells the drugs, they get addicted, they get hooked, they may OD, who knows what the case may be. They get into the rehab is her center. So she's made money twice. And my guess is she kept this going. I have to say, if that's what she was doing, I can't even knock the hustle. However, at the same time, she basically became her own drug dealer in so many words. And it sounds to me like she was running this operation on her own, because they said she ran it out of her home and out of her clinic. So she was like operating by herself, because it doesn't specify that she was working with other people. They said she even held multiple functions in her own clinic, which leads me to believe that maybe this is a small clinic. It's not a big clinic like the Betty Ford or anything like that. So yeah, I wonder if this was her grand hustle all along, and I'm curious to know how long has she been doing this. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments.